Our sixth finalist is Patrick Garrett in the Department of Biology, and his major advisor is Paul Schauer, and he's going to talk to us about pollination in a human-dominated world. Patrick.
Okay, so how many of you have sat down for a meal with your family, or went out to get a bite to eat with your friends, or even actually just went to the grocery store to shop for food? Now, by show of hands, how many of you have actually thought where all that food comes from? Come on, don't be shy. Well, that's really good. Either indirectly or directly, all that food comes from plants. I'm a botanist, so I study plants. Specifically, I study them in the context of pollination. Pollination is basically the process by which plants have sex to make baby plants. And so, and baby plants are basically what we call seeds. Now these seeds, they grow up and they become the things that we eat and interact with on a daily basis. And so the study of plants is super important to our long-term longevity as a species. So I study pollination in southern Florida in what biologists call a hotspot of biodiversity. Now these are areas that have lots of different types of species, but they're also critically endangered because of how humans interact with their environment. It's pretty bad. We do some pretty dangerous stuff on the planet. So, in particular, I study a plant called cinnamon bark. Now you can use it for everything to spice your chili, or even better, you can use it medicinally to treat everything from fevers to toothaches, even STDs. It's a pretty important plant. And so what I've done in my research, because of its endangered status, its importance as a food resource, and its medicinal qualities, is I've tried to identify what pollinators pollinate this plant to create new baby plants. Right? Okay, so we found something really, really cool in our research. All the pollinators of this plant, the really important ones at least, are in fact endangered and threatened themselves. This makes sense, right? So we get plants that, we get no pollinators, we don't get baby plants, we don't get food for the future. So one particular example is the Atala butterfly. You can see it on the left there, hanging on the screen. Thought to be extinct for the last 30 years in the United States. We've recently found a couple species, and so it actually pollinates this plant. So next time you sit down with your family and you're eating your meal, or you go out to Wendy's and get a bite with your friends, or you're at the grocery store shopping for some bell peppers for salad or something, think about how important plants are for your future. And most importantly, think about how fundamental pollination is in that process. Thank you.